Dear audience, welcome to this special moment. Today we are going to focus on the traumatic situation, or let's say the post-trauma. How can we get rid of from this kind of traumatic situation spiritually? This kind of thing we are going to discuss on this special moment, or let's say in this Bishesh Kurakani. It's me, your host Rohan Shrestha, and today we have our guest Neeraj Kohli, and he is the director of International Association of Human Values. It is the sister organization of Art of Living. Let me welcome him. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Nepal. Welcome to Himalaya Television.
Thank you.
When did you come to Nepal?
Well, I came here on the 30th of April, 5 days after the first episode, and in fact we were working on a project which we just finished on 24th, and 25th this happened. So a couple of days I was setting the processes back home so that we could support this whole relief activity. And so I came on 30th. And
so what is the purpose of this visit?
The whole objective is to oversee the operations, the relief operations which have been going on through our team, the Art of Living Nepal. About 7,000 to 8,000 volunteers have been working on the ground for both material relief and trauma relief. So just to support them and see how we can do much more. And
first of all, tell us something about your organization, International Association for Human Values.
See, International Association for Human Values has been founded way back in 1997 by His Holiness Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji, the sister organization.
It is under
Art of Living. Yeah, it's the sister organization of so Art of Living primarily focuses on training program, de-stressing people, building their capacity and unlocking the potential that they hold within, and then inspiring them to take up service initiatives. International Association for Human Values primarily focuses on engaging community through the service initiatives, and once they come on board, we train them, and then we put them on to the service projects. So primarily we have been majorly working in disaster relief management, trauma management work area for more than 15 years now, and we worked in tsunami, in Bhuj, Katrina, Haiti, across the globe.
Across the world.
I was personally there for the Uttarakhand flood relief when it happened, and that's the major.
How do you analyze this situation?
Well, it's something which probably nobody expected.
Since you have gone to Haiti, similarly the Uttarakhand and all, how do you analyze?
Well, in terms, there I see the number of deaths were much more, the number of toll lives was much more, and even the material loss was much more. Having said that, no calamity can be undermined. So it's very shocking and traumatic for people to face the situation when the very basis of your life gets shaken. You feel you have a home and you feel pretty secure in it, and suddenly it's gone and you don't know what to do. So it kind of really shakes you from within. So our efforts have been primarily on we've reached out to almost about 100,000 to about 150,000 people through the material relief, and in between I think 10,000 to 15,000 with the trauma relief.
This time?
Yeah.
In Nepal?
In Nepal. So far we've already reached out. We've done our sessions, when I came I wanted to start right from the top, because the higher up you are in the hierarchy, the more stress and tension you have, and the decision making needs to be therefore much more refined. But with the situation like this, you are dealing with so many people, their negative vibration, their weak moment, that you end up catching. And so we've done workshops for the Home Ministry, the police department, and the general public, almost reaching out to close to 15,000 people so far.
Was that effective enough or not?
Yes.
Or something more has to be done?
No, this is like in this given moment and context, it acts like an intravenous shot. It's a short and sweet module which we have, very powerful, using the breath and breathing techniques, pranayams and meditation, and we calm down the mind. Because end of the day, material relief is something which comes back in multifolds. In our experience, at least 3 times material comes back, and normally up to 9 times you get the material back. but the mental aspect, if you can address that through some way, then that is very reassuring, and brings up the faith of the people
in this traumatic situation. What kind of effect is seen among the people?
Of the workshop that we do,
or general public?
Of course, people are shocked. And
what kind of problem can be seen? Can be identified.
See, in our workshops, when people they come, when we ask them, okay, they have palpitations, like physically, the movement of the earth has kind of stopped. The major shake that happened is over. But something inside the body is also shaking. It's still shaking, which is the mind, the mental faculty, which is what experiences whatever we experience. That is the faculty through which we experience life. So that is still oscillating. It is more subtle, but it has a much more bigger oscillation. So that really impacts I've seen people losing interest in doing what they're doing.
Definitely.
You don't know what to do. You're at a loss, and
they are hopeless.
Yeah, it's like you don't know what to do, what next, and you're so scared. So half the time your mind is stuck with this happened, and why did this happen, and wondering, and so you're lost with that, and half the time you're worried about what is going to happen next. So it kind of, this movement of the mind really has a toll on your nervous system, and it causes massive stress, and if you don't deal with it, then it could lead to all major diseases today. Even the doctors
agree. Can you say that this is dealt with psychology or something?
It's much more than that.
What kind of?
It's using the breath as the technique. We use the breath as a tool to bring the mind in the present moment, because breath is always moving in the present moment. We begin with the first breath begins the life. We breathe in the first breath, that is when the life begins, and last breath that we have will be the ending of the life, and in between whatever is happening is what we call life. So you cannot breathe in the past moment, you cannot breathe in the future, you don't know. Breath is always moving in the present moment. So the moment you bring your mind, your attention to the present moment, to the breath, you are already here and now, and this is where the life is happening. Whatever has happened has happened. You can't do anything about it. Time you cannot change, situation you cannot change, resources you cannot suddenly multiply. The only thing you can do is increase your energy level. When you increase your energy level, you feel that you are still in charge. You are still able to face and deal with the situation more practically, without getting into a panic situation. Much like you see still water, you can see the base very clearly. But if there are ripples, you cannot see. So in a panic state, you will not be able to take the right decision. So we have seen people losing lives out of heart attack more than the actual thing. We've seen people going to the hospital, with broken bones because of panic. It's unfortunate and very sad to see them in that state. But then that happens because we are not able to take charge of our mind at that point. So with breath, a very simple technique of just breathing.
Breath therapy.
Yeah, you just breathe in.
Can you please demonstrate for our audience?
No, I'm not too sure if that's going to be. You simply breathe in. Breathe in and keeping your eyes closed, and you breathe out, and just observe your breath. Simply, you can observe your breath. You could also do another thing which we do in the workshop is you touch your pulse and see how it is going. There's palpitation here, there's palpitation here. You hold on to it, close your eyes, and you keep breathing very slowly. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you just relax your body, and you will feel that the pulse is getting normalized. That's one way of. And then, of course, we do some little vigorous exercises, light humor, because the moment you begin to smile, you are already out of that state of weak moment or weak
How
spot.
humor works?
It works like it works like a very effective medicine in this situation. People and your lightness, your vibration that you are carrying with you, your presence also makes a difference. because if I have
positive vibes,
if I am impacted by the vibration of the people I'm interacting with, and if I get over emotional, if I'm not able to manage my own mind and my own emotions, I will not be of much use to the people. So with the humor as a tool, one of the tool, you can lighten the situation. And so what? It has happened. It's over now. I mean, it's like we are part of the earth. Earth is moving, and
what about Om therapy?
I'll come to that. Let me just finish this part. You see, so if the earth is moving, your body is moving, but your mind is all still continuing. The earth has stopped, your body has stopped, comes still, but your mind is still oscillating. So what do? You breathe and you bring it to the present moment. That is one way of doing it. And the other thing is looking at it from a different perspective. We often spend money to go and take a roller coaster ride. It's doing like that. So here we have got that ride, and we are not even paying anything for it. So this is one way of looking at the situation and laughing about it. It really brings your energy level immediately, brings you out. But before we do that, we need to bring up the energy level through the techniques that we teach. So Om, chanting is one. Doing little yoga, and yoga is nothing but uniting in the body, uniting with the mind through the breath. So like you're hearing nice music, you feel the rhythm and you get aligned with the rhythm. So it's kind of meditation. Like you're interested in the work that you're doing, so you lose touch of the time. You don't know how much time went by, and because you're interested in that activity. So you actually get rest in the activity. That is like meditation itself. So using the meditation techniques, we help the people to calm down in this moment, and once they are there, then they appreciate all these things. But I have seen, noticed one good thing about the Nepalese people: they're very resilient. And it was very heartening to know how the Gorkha movement, they never allowed themselves to be captured, and the Britishers could not, even. So that is something which we need to be proud of in this moment, and look at that, and I see that happening also in a number of ways.
Mr. Dev, we can see the example of the community movement as well this time. The strength among the people, hand-to-hand movement and all. This is going to count.
And they are coming together, which is very positive thing in the given situation, and so many people wanting to help each other. Only thing I say is, if that is the thing we normally do, and not wait for a calamity, things would be much better for all of us. But having said that, coming back to the Om therapy. See, Om is not a word, and not related with any religion. It's a vibration, the primordial sound of the universe. When there was nothing, the first sensation that happened created this vibration of Om, and it is said that everything comes out from Om and it goes back into the Om, which is the most ultimate state of bliss. And Om has an effect on the entire body. So A, U, Ma. There's three sub sounds. A, U, Ma. So you see the three centers: the center of creativity below the navel region, center of maintenance, sustenance, which is the chest region, and transformation, the face and your brain and that area. So A, U, Ma.
Not Om. A, U, Ma.
A, U, Ma. The three sub sounds, they have an impact on these three regions, and Om is consisting of all these three sub-sounds.
Okay.
So, it's Om, when we say, it has an effect on the entire body. That's why this is practiced in all religions in some form or the other. So somewhere we say Om, somewhere we say Shalom, somewhere we say Ek Onkar, somewhere we say Amin, somewhere we say Amen. So the vibration is same. If you go a little deeper, it's same. And also, the scientists in America, they have actually researched, and what they found something very interesting, that the movement of the earth around its axis and friction with the atmosphere is creating a sound. And after 6 months they found this is the sound of Om.
is this therapy works for each and every individual, from children to adults or the old age?
Absolutely.
The Om therapy, the breathing therapy.
Breathing therapy, this is useful for everyone. So we chant and then we do some pranayams. Okay, we do little yogic exercises, very simple, fun, exercises we do, and we talk about some stories, nice stories to enlighten make the atmosphere light and people humorous.
Is this scientific or spiritual? How can we say this?
It's both. There's no difference. Because in raising the spirit, raising the energy in you
to motivate the people
is what is spirituality all about. It's all that. So there is a science of doing that. It's pretty much scientific. And coming from a engineering background and having been there, done that in the corporate sector, I have seen this is something which is very, very useful and has a long-lasting impact on your system. See, if your mind is settled, if you are able to win over your mind, you are the king. Man jeete jag jeet, it said. So people need to be exposed to this experience. It's little talk, more experience. I mean, how much ever I may go on talking about it, unless you experience this, you will not be able to,
What does spiritual actually means? Because it is near to science or something. It believes in the godly existence or not.
See, as I already said, raising the spirit, the energy. See, time we cannot change. Situation we cannot change. What is happening, those resources are limited. So in the given context, the only thing you can change is your energy level. If you are in a weak spot, like I'll tell you my experience in Uttarakhand. I was there, we had people who were being provided the relief. They were being carried down from Harshil base to Chinyali through the army helicopters. So the disaster management team was doing its best. They were receiving people, issuing tokens and making people to sit in groups. And I was taken there to do the trauma relief session while they were waiting to board the helicopter. So when the helicopter would come, the chopper would come, army would go and just take a round and identify people who are more needy in the situation, pull them out and ask them to board first. But the people were thinking, even in this situation, these fellows are not doing the right thing. They are still, kisi ka sparish chal raha hai, some corruption is happening, something is. So they were not able to appreciate what the army was doing, why they were doing that. And on the other side, the army was wondering why these people are cribbing despite us doing so much. So there was a visible gap between the two sides, the recipient and the delivery side. So we did workshop for the people. We did also workshop for the trauma relief team, and it settled the gap. Made this whole operation more smooth. You could understand each other, because the moment your energy level is up, then you can see what is happening around you more clearly. Like the water is still, you can see everything clearly. Your mind is calm. You can see things clearly. You can appreciate, even in this context, what good is happening for you, which is not possible without raising your energy
level. And
raising the energy level, raising the spirit in you.
So what about existence of God, godly being? Is there or not? Because right now, most of the people are chanting the name of the God.
There is definitely a power which is looking after us. So one thought, there is this big power which is running this whole universe. Okay? If there is that power that is running this whole universe, that is also capable of running my life for me. That faith. In today's time, when the situation is not so good, that is the time when we really need to have our faith in that higher power, whatever you may call it, irrespective of what you want to call it. There is that higher power which is taking care of me, protecting me, looking after me. As long as I am breathing, I am alive and kicking. There are many who could not. So another example I give you, I have a friend who was in the Uttarakhand relief, again the same operation. So he went up, and I was supposed to go with him, but he didn't find it okay because permissions and all. He was a DIG from CRPF. So he went up, and next day morning he was supposed to return, and there was this helicopter crash, and I was trying to call his number, not responding. So I just thought, no news is good news, so I was waiting. Finally he called back, and he says, I have to tell you something. I said, go ahead, please tell me. He says, I was on that helicopter, and there was this gentleman who came and requested me. He was in a little bit of a hurry. He said, sir, I have been here for the last 3 days. You just came today. Would you mind if I go and you come in the next one? And I agreed. So his time had come, and this gentleman's time had not yet come. So he had to go. So whatever time duration we have come here with, that much we have to go through.
Vidhi ko vidhan. Can we say that?
Vidhi ka vidhan jo hai, something like that. And of course, that is kind of destiny, you can say, but free will is where these practices come in. If you are able to, you can spend that time feeling, this happened, or you can say
it's all from the inside.
Yeah. So, or you can, look at the situation with a little sense of humor and say, oh, okay, this is happening. Even sometimes we give jhula to the god. Now he's giving us a little roller coaster ride. You can look at it that I know it is not easy till your energy levels are, brought up. But that is one way of looking at it.
So you mean to say that this is all done by the god?
No, it's not that. It's natural
roller coaster ride.
It's process.
This is a natural process, definitely.
Natural process of the plates going here and there. And one thing I would like to say definitely is, जैसा खाएं अन्न वैसा होता है मन, और जैसा खाएं जैसा हो मन वैसा होता है दर्शन. So what food we eat has an impact on the mind.
How you look at the particular thing.
Yeah, so like for example, different kind of foods are there. Have tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic. So foods that bring down your energy, foods that make you restless, and foods that bring up your energy yet making you feel light. So different kinds of food are there. So if you choose the right kind of food, will also have an impact on your, and especially in this given context, I feel it is better to be eating sattvic food. Like the expression "chickens out" has actually come from and our body, our system is not really made for the non-vegetarian food.
At last, we have come to an end of the show. If you have something to our audience, which is one-liner, or let's say the motivation, something motivational lines or something, then please you can.
The only thing I would like to say here is that whatever has happened has happened. Let go and move on. Let's face the life afresh. I would like to share His Holiness Shri Ravi Shankarji, who is the founder and also my master. His birthday is on 13th of May, and he always says, "Main tera." So have that faith. There is something, somebody, and some force which is taking care of you. Main tera.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and for your valuable motivational opinions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks to you as well, the audience. Please do stay with us for more news and entertainment packages. And definitely, we have to say, stay alert, stay strong. Keep watching Himalaya Television. Namaste.